Hey there, Unsolved Mysteries fans, Wayward Legacy back at you with another video. So, this case I'm going to do is the case of Candace Belt and Gloria Ross. Now, I have the article up in front of me here on Unsolved Mysteries Wiki. So I'm going to, as usual, I'll read the case out to you and, give you the results and stuff, and then I'll give you my thoughts. Also, I just watched this case, so, looking at the article, there's a lot of things that are in the article, or there's a lot of things that are in the video of this case that aren't in the article, so I made some notes myself, and, I'll read those off to you, and, then I'll give you my thoughts on the case and what I think happened. So here we go. So, Candy Belt was 22 and Gloria Ross was 18. They were two massage therapists who doubled as prostitutes at the New Life place run by Tammy Papler in Oak Grove, Kentucky. They were found shot and stabbed to death on one location. Their killer has, or on the location, I should say, their killer has yet to be identified. Tammy and the other employees claimed that the police were threatening them if they did not let the officers do what they wanted. They believe one of the officers, Ed Carter, is responsible for the murders. 3 years later, Tammy went to the city council about the murders, and the city council member, Patty Bellew, I think is what her name is, who used to work with her, listened to her claims. Despite this, the murders have never been solved. Now, now that this is fresh into my mind here, well, actually, I'll give you the results first, and then I'll read the notes to you. So, the suspects are Ed Carter and Frank Black. Okay, so the results are still unresolved. In July 2012, police officer Leslie Duncan was arrested for tampering with evidence in involvement with this case. He pled guilty and was given a 3-year sentence, which accounted for time already served. In November 2013, officers Ed Carter and Frank Black were also arrested and charged with the murders of Gloria and Candy. Duncan was charged with 2 counts of complicity to murder. All 3 men were tried on the beginning of September 6, 2016. Charges against Leslie Duncan were dismissed mid-trial by directed verdict. The trial concluded on September 14th, 2016, with a verdict of not guilty for Ed Carter and Frank Black. Okay, so that's interesting. We're going to get into that in a little bit, but first I want to read you, I want to give you my notes on, what I had written throughout the video as I watched it. So, okay, since this is fresh in my mind, I'm going to talk about this first. So, Patty Bellew, the city council member, had said that that the police department was corrupt, and like when she worked there, she saw police come in and out, and they knew everything that was going on there and whatnot, and so they knew everything, they knew the ins and outs of the business and whatnot, and also, since this is fresh in my mind as well, I think Tammy Papler went on vacation or something like that, and when she came back, Ed Carter was working and handling the money and whatnot, and she said that she said to stay out and never come back to there and just stay away from this place. And she told all the women to that was basically it for Ed being there, and to never let him back in again. And so yeah, that was that, and I'll get into that a bit later. I want to give you my notes on this. So Leslie Duncan was Carter's former roommate. Carter had claimed that he went to the parlor that night of the murders, but claimed that he was home by 3 a.m. His ex-wife says that Ed was home 3 minutes after 4. The 2 women were shot with a small caliber gun. Carter told the police he didn't own that type of gun, but his ex-wife claimed that he did own one. It was under the mattress for her protection. It was not there that night, and she had not seen it from the Christmas before the shootings. Carter took a polygraph test a few weeks after the murders. Major Bill Gloyd of the Kentucky Police Department said that he cannot say if Carter passed or failed, but said that Carter did resign from the police department. Carter then moved to another part of Kentucky, and Leslie Duncan resigned a year later. So, this is pretty interesting. Leslie Duncan and Ed Carter were roommates, right? Were former roommates. So, that kind of makes sense that he was tampering with evidence back then. To kind of cover to cover Ed Carter's ass. If I'm gonna give a theory and a thought on it as to what happened and who did it, I believe that Ed Carter did it. Just with all these, all these like different discrepancies in the case, and the fact that his ex-wife said that he did have the gun and it was not there that night, and he came in around 4 a.m. Basically, here's what I believe what happened is, Ed was pretty frustrated and angry at Tammy for, refusing him to help out at the parlor and enter the parlor and basically do what he wanted there. So in retaliation to this, what he did is he probably went back that night, or whenever this was. I don't know if it was the same night that she had told him all that, but he had went back anyway when they were working and she wasn't there, and he shot them with the gun, and then obviously he got rid of it. He did something with it, obviously, and I think the reason why they're not giving why they're not allowing the polygraph, or why they didn't allow the polygraph test to be results to be said, is because it was probably inconclusive, or he failed the test. They're once again covering his ass because they know that he did the murders, and there's just it's definitely an interesting case for sure, and I wanted to do it. I didn't think about doing it till tonight, but it's just one of those cases that's interesting, and there's so many discrepancies, and so many things that point towards Ed Carter doing the murders that makes me think that he did do the murders. It's just, that's what I think it went down. I think he was angry and frustrated that Tammy wouldn't let him go in there and do his own thing. When pretty much the police and the mayor ran the town. So he was in retaliation. He killed the two women because of that. That's what I'm leaning towards. There's not too much for me to talk about, so, if you like this video, give a like, subscribe, comment, let me know your thoughts and theories in the comments on this case. I'll definitely be doing more cases, I gotta figure out what I want to do, so I don't know when the next videos will be, but, yeah, you can look out for those. And that's pretty much all I got to say right now, and I'll see you in the next one. Wayward out.